and she is a well-known speaker. So Mel, I invite you up to the podium and share your wisdom with us. I'm going to clap.
All righty. I'm gonna shift. I can't see myself on the screen, but unless it will lower easily. There we go. Hopefully you can see me, and if not, Marius, let me know and I can adjust myself just a little. All righty. So I want to invite you into awareness of summer. We're stepping into a time of transformation. We see it around us. We walk out one morning and the trees are bare, and then they started to grow leaves. We've seen births and deaths of a multitude of flowers. Last week I was watching the blooms of the lilacs that have now turned to lush green. We're seeing buds turn to flowers, the petals move away. We're seeing new flowers come up. And this is an internal possibility of state. So I value so much this idea of imagination and transformation. Summer brings with it a quality of passion, of creativity, of expansion. I can turn off the share because I'm not using slides, and I'm not using slides because I want to invite you into your body, into your experience of all that's going on in the world, and to notice a little bit more of what's going on in your own being, or the universes of you that I speak of. So summer, this time of births and deaths in rapid time. It's a time of releasing schedule and routine. And even if you were in retirement, you lighten stuff up. You shake it up a little bit. This is the gift, the possibility, the energy of summer into greater exploration, less schedule. I saw something. I was walking through a mall in the last week, and I looked into a nail salon, and I saw a news heading, and it said people are taking vacation from, and then I couldn't read the rest of it, so I leaned back in to wait till it came up again. Social media is what it said. People are taking vacation from social media. And I was like, I want that. I want that. This idea that we need to go somewhere, or that vacation is where I suspend life and I go somewhere else and I act like the rest of that life doesn't exist. Summer invites us into the all of it. So what does it mean to vacation right now, in this moment, in this place, in each breath we take, in the way that we walk our lives? And summer really invites us into that. I offer the quote by Anais Nin that says, "And then the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom." So I appreciate so much the naming of International Indigenous Peoples Month, Pride Month. It's also June, but these celebratory months and focuses in part offer us wisdom. So I offered you sort of the energy of summer, and now I offer you the layering of what it means to have two really, really big, important months, Pride Month and International Indigenous Peoples Month. And when I think about the one thing, the one gem I would offer you that I have learned most as a proud member of the Rainbow community and with close connections to Indigenous community, is a term called joy as resistance. And I want to offer you that as you think about what you want to do this summer. But I need to name the roots of this idea of joy as resistance, which comes from Black, Rainbow community members, Indigenous community members who at some point in the repeat of society's telling the story that they could not exist, that they could not be, that they could not breathe, said, well, actually, I'm here and I'm going to actually enjoy being here anyway. That is where the resistance comes in, to not allow the world to take over your space and to make space for whatever sliver of joy you can cultivate in the moment. And I mention this because that's very different than spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing would say, no, everything's good right now. And I would say to you, it's okay if it's not. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be noticing the world around you and say, whoo, that's a lot. And what I'm suggesting is in the metaphor or the exclamation of, oh, that's a lot, that you say, and there's joy. And what joy do I want to bring? So this idea of joy as tending grief, joy as tending our beings, joy as making room for what sustains you. That's the texture of resistance I'm offering you this morning. Joy in your life as the possibility of making room for what sustains you. So is it possible then that allowing joy even in slivers is an act of defiance against a world that says, be angry, be upset, be urgent, be flighty, be fighty, freeze, stop, be paralyzed, be joy. See joy, find joy, feel joy, give joy, receive joy. And when we do that amongst the resistance, transformation naturally occurs. Blossoms, blooms like flowers in the peak of June. That's the possibility. It increases your aliveness, your capacity for awe, your right to be here and feel something good. To challenge the story that life needs to be survival, to move into thriving. That's the possibility. So as I offer questions this morning, and as you might have a paper and pen and want to explore this, what I invite from you is this: to suspend for a moment thinking, and rather to allow feeling, to notice, similar to the flower emerging in the form of a bud and blooming, that you simply notice what comes up and you allow it. You don't judge it, you don't meaning make around it, you just simply allow what emerges to emerge and be there. And so the first question is, what is one tiny moment of joy you can invite in today? What is one tiny moment of joy you can invite in today? And simply notice, and if you're not writing, your process can be simply allowing what flows through you to flow through you. And in that allowing of what flows through you to flow through you, those wisdom pieces, the truth pieces will hold. So it's trusting that. So when we ask this question of what is one tiny moment of joy you can invite in today, this is not as a distraction from what is, but a reminder that you're still here amongst all the other things that you're aware of also being here. A reminder that you're still here amongst all the other things that are here. To see yourself in it, connected to it, part of it. That healing is happening. And you might say, yes, Mel, but and healing is happening. But there's so much going on. Yes. And healing is also happening. Joy is also present. We are able to step into more possibility. There's a possibility that we start to lift up and explore what we enjoy, that enjoy. and we start to allow it to grow. So being with what is not about bypassing. It's noticing that sometimes we'll find ourselves in what is, but it's a sliver and we're calling it the full picture. We know that because a multitude of things are happening all at once. Earth is speaking to us right now. Earth itself, like I articulated in the beginning, things are growing and then new things are growing. And then this fruit's this week's fruit of abundance, but next week there's a different fruit. And then this flower bloomed and now it's lush green, and it's all happening, and it's all happening inside of us. That's the possibility of summer, is to imagine that there's continually more and to step into it with intention. This transformation then is more about the texture of allowing than it is about doing. And I want to talk about the texture of allowing because we oftentimes don't notice we're resisting joy, and or we are not noticing our relationship with the idea of allowing great things to happen. So if we're locked into the possibility, oof, better be careful, something else is going to happen, something else is going to happen, we miss that something else is going to happen. And it could be what we didn't anticipate. It could be what we didn't expect. And we stop noticing all those little moments. So I wonder this, and I'll ask it again twice. Do I feel truly that I can give myself permission to experience joy? Do I feel truly like I can give myself permission to experience joy? Maybe you're one of the people who, like me, struggles more with the idea of joy than I do the hard things. I remember a few Halloweens ago, I know it's off season, but so's life. A few Halloweens ago, I was asked a question about if I was going to go to haunted houses and or if they scared me, something like that. And I said, "Oh no, like haunted houses, let's go. I've got you. Throw your scariest at me. I can walk through, I can take it, I can, you know, you want to know my haunted house? It's walking into a place and having somebody say, 'Come in, sit down here. Let me prepare you some tea. Let me listen while you talk. Is there anything else I could get you that would have you feeling more comfortable? Is there any support I could offer you?'" Well, darn, it turns out that was scarier. That was way scarier. And so the message this morning is so simple because the challenge and application of it is so challenging for some of us. And of course, if you're somebody who's like, no, I find joy easy, I challenge you to explore if you find being in joy while all of it's going on possible. Or do you sit in joy as a safety net from feeling what is there? And I don't know your answer, and I don't have to. I'm inviting you to know your own relationship with joy. Are you giving yourself permission to experience pleasure? What's your story around it? Things are joyful. You're in the moment and you're having a wonderful experience. What story do you tell yourself about that? That's the possibility, is that we become more aware of this infinite universe going on around us. Why? So that we can, with awareness, choose joy. With all that's going on in the world, to choose joy. It's also okay to say, yeah, gosh, Mel, my answer to that question about do I give myself permission to experience joy? And the answer is no. Now what? And I would say, now let that be there. And when you do, you will start to feel a shift happen simply by allowing that to be there. No, I don't allow joy in my life. And the next thing that often happens is that we will interact with that, but not first if we don't allow it to be there. So you say to me, hey, no, I don't allow joy in my life. Now what? You allow it to be there, and you will find yourself asking, do I want to allow that to stay where it is? And if you don't, similar to the way that a bud blooms, you will find that you shift. You will shift your position, you will move around it, you will do something different. That is how simple change is. The barrier is our awareness to our own story. The barrier is that we might say, oh, yeah, Mel, joy's easy. Okay, well then that will be where your awareness sits. But when you allow more of your story to be there, you will start to interact with it, and you will find transformation in the allowing of whatever it is that comes up. So whatever your answer is to that question this morning, I invite you to be with it, to notice it, and to simply allow it to be there. That's all. And in that, you will notice change. When we talk about the wildness of summer, we'd be amiss to not ask the question, what is your relationship to the wild? What is your relationship to the wild? And as you think about that, and as you feel into that, I'd offer you some potentials. Well, Mel, I really like to clean up the wild. I like it in row by row, and I like it to look a certain way. And I like to know precisely what wild do you mean? I need to know first, can you please give me clear, distinct examples of what that looks like? And again, if you're playing with me in these questions, play gently, play lightly, play with care and compassion. I was in therapy this week, and I asked my therapist, we were talking about what to do when you show up inevitably in a way that you knew about, but you forgot, and then you remember, and then you notice it again. And I said, so what do you do in those moments? And my therapist said, oh, yeah, I want to go back to that. And of course, I was talking and sharing a lot of things. So she says, I want to go back to that because I have something to offer you. And I was like, okay, great. And she said to me, you hug it. That's what you do with that part that you see. You hug it and you remind yourself you're human. So as we play with these questions about just noticing your relationship with the wild, and maybe you're like, well, shoot, Mel, that description felt like it fit me. Great. Can you love that? Can you hug that part of you? Can you allow it to be there, but with a little bit more gentleness, with awareness, with noticing? Maybe your relationship with the wild is that it's the only place that you feel comfortable. No, I need it to be just absolutely all over the place. That's how I feel okay. How might that inform how you live and what choices you make and what you do or don't do? And it'd be amiss for me to not mention the 12 powers and the idea of order and the idea of creativity and the idea of all these things happening all at once. Because I think that summer could look like, in beautiful distinction between the 12 powers and refining and selecting. Rev Sharon used to talk about the Christ power. If you want to just light it all up, I feel like summer lights it all up. It lights up all those powers and it says, now watch. And things are born and they die and they move and they change. And then you have an experience. And what I'm inviting you into is the noticing of that experience, the embodiment of that experience. What would it look like to allow a little bit more wildness in your life? Just a little. Staying curious, letting go, allowing all that is blooming in you and around you to simply be there, to simply notice it. So I want to invite you into a time of meditation, into an internal exploration. I'm going to start with a song, and you're welcome to join me if it works for you, and you're also welcome to take it in. I'm going to sing it through about 5 or 6 times. I usually just feel into it, but I'm going to invite you back into the body, into meditation, and into an exploration of these ideas. Noticing the body, maybe softening your gaze or closing your eyes. Becoming aware of those feet planted on the ground and seeing, imagining, evoking deep roots that flow down from the bottom of your feet into the center of the earth. And maybe from the top of your head, a root that goes up into the infinite universe. A statement, a testament, and an awareness of how abundantly connected we are. John O'Donohue says it's about awakening to the mystery of being here. Enter the quiet immensity of your own presence, woven around the heart of wonder. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the world. I am opening. 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 I am opening to the luminous love light of the world. I light a candle, but only one. I delight in the dim lit room and the exhale it provides. I do not long for the bright. My soul does not need the stage. I wish to romance my soul, to know it intimately, to allow it room and space to grow up as it is and not worry about what it's wearing, its hair, or if it has something in its teeth or tears rolling down. I wish to meet my soul where it is at, as it is, exactly as it is. Oh, I wish for my soul to just be, and then in that being to open and open and open, to bloom naturally. And this time I will be there to witness it, to be present in this beautiful unfolding of my soul's experience. The first time I glanced upon my soul, I saw beauty beyond words, and we sat together in silent knowing and with wonder and great love of all that is. Breathe into this space of reflection. I offer you again questions. What is my relationship with the wild? What is my relationship with the wild? What could I give myself today, allowing more joy? What could I give myself today that would allow more joy? Have I given myself permission to thrive? Have I given myself permission to thrive? Part of joy is being able to feel and see, sense, and express gratitude in the moment. And so, for those in person, I've offered you a white heart. And as I sing the last song, I invite you to feel into your body the word that wants to emerge as an expression of gratitude and an offering, and to place it on the altar. For those that are joining us online, I invite you to do the same. And if you are interested, wanting, and willing, to place the word as an offering in the chat. So again, I say that I'm going to sing a song, and invite you to feel into a word that you wish to offer as gratitude. And as you've finished writing that, to place that on the altar or to place it in the chat. And if you don't want to, remember you have permission not to. Just a reminder, these are invitations. You are empowered to make the choice that works best for you. And that is the invitation. So I offer you a song from my youth with words that were rewritten by an artist, Matt Mayer. It's called Sanctuary. There's a truth beyond our knowledge. There's compassion beyond the pain. There's a truth growing stronger. There's a light to guide our way. There's a truth beyond our knowledge. There's compassion beyond the pain. There's a light growing stronger. There's a love to guide the way. There's a truth beyond our knowledge. There's compassion beyond the pain. There's a truth and a promise and love to guide the way. As you allow that word to emerge, similar to the flowers that bloom, we allow it to be expressed. We invite that practice, that growing practice of a willingness to share and express, to also exist outside of ourselves, to many ways and expressions. And perhaps it is just that we begin to delight in more of what shows up, to see the beauty in all of it and all of it in us. And that is the possibility of the wildness of summer. Are you willing to allow it? Thank you.
Thank you, Mel. Thank you so much. You are always an inspiration to us, first of all the time, no matter what you talk about. But I love that you use the word enjoy, but kind of changed the E to an I for enjoy. I got to carry that with me all week. So I think it's just perfect when you have the opportunity to take questions into your week, which is always fun. Let me just put these slides up again. There we go. I'm just going to skip through a couple of things so we can move forward. Okay, maybe not. It doesn't want to move forward. Isn't that always the way? Hold on one second here. There we go. So thank you so much. We so appreciate you at all times, believe me. I'm just going to move past a couple of slides and just watching the time here today because we did start a little bit late. And we'll go to our abundance affirmation. Or not. Not really sure what's going on. There's little gremlins happening today. It does happen. This way. All right, we'll just keep it up this way. If you'd like to say it with me, if you can see it on the screen, we affirm that Unity thrives in health and abundance. Our communities are vibrant, resilient, and supported by positive energy and resources. We nurture well-being for all members, fostering environments where everyone can flourish. Prosperity flows through our initiatives and collaborations, ensuring sustained growth and success. Together, we create a harmonious and prosperous future grounded in unity and mutual support. Quick Zen thought for the week. Let us lay in sun and count every beautiful thing we see. Think of wild and summer and laying in fields and seeing things. A quick story, I had a friend for dinner the other night, and I live on a river where there's a floodplain across the way. So we're literally sitting outside chatting, and 2 deers just sort of pranced by over in the floodplain, and we were just enthralled, in joy with these deers moving through our little space. So it's like the smallest thing can bring that joy to you. And if you said, hey, would you be excited or enjoyment seeing a couple of deers, I always would say, sure. But you wouldn't think it would actually literally stop our conversation and say, wow, this is so great to see some deer. So that was super fun. And as we prepare for the week ahead, please affirm with me together. Wherever I am, light surrounds me. I am light. Love enfolds me. I am love. Power protects me. I am power. Presence watches over me. I am presence. Wherever I am, source is. And I think we have one last lovely gift from Mel, a singing together. Do you want to come up here, Mel, and do that one together?
Yeah, sure. We can close with this one, so it will be easier because now we have the words.
There you go.
I didn't before, so feel free to join. This is the one that I had offered a moment ago, so I'll sing through a few times. True beyond our knowledge, there's compassion. Beyond the pain, there's a spirit growing stronger. There's a light to guide our way. One more time. There's a truth beyond our knowledge. There's compassion beyond the pain. There's a spirit growing stronger. There's a love to guide our way.
Thank you, Mel. What a great way to wrap up. It was kind of a wild little time there, but we got through it all and it was wonderful. As always, wonder-filled, should we say, right? That's the way it should be. Do stay with us for a quick chat. If you'd like to, Marg is going to lead the chat for us. We're going to trade computers a little bit and do a couple of voice things to make sure everybody can be heard. Join us at Unity Kitchener, unityottawa.org anytime for all the information about our services, what's happening, classes, donating, anything you'd like to do. And if you want to see any of the previous services, you can go to YouTube at any time. So thank you, everybody. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to stop the share here.